Yo, what's up, Eagles Nation? It's your guy, Cool Eagle, back here with another video, man. And before I get to the main point of this video, just want to give a huge shout out to Dak Prescott for a speedy recovery. Um, Again, nobody should be celebrating this injury. This is very gruesome. But if you're one of those people that were making wheelchair winch jokes and and celebrating his injury over these past few years to Eagles fans, hopefully this is a wake-up call to grow the hell up and and not celebrate people's injuries who dedicate their whole life to this violent game of football, and especially ones who are jumping on EDP for celebrating Dak's injury when y'all the same ones who are probably jumping in his live stream talking about, oh my God, wheelchair Wentz, oh my God, Wentz can't stay healthy, oh, hope he gets injured again. Hope you grow up after this. Now, on to the main point of this video, man. I have a more calmer approach about yesterday's game versus Steelers. Kind of got balanced out by the Los Angeles Lakers winning their 17th championship. LeBron getting his 4th ring in 10 tries, moving him to 4-6 all time as the GOAT, greatest player of all time. Although a lot of y'all might disagree and say Michael Jordan, but that's completely fine because opinions are opinions. But yes, I kind of got balanced out by that and at a more calmer approach to yesterday's loss, which to me still was a winnable game just because, if you didn't make those mistakes in clutch time, Doug Peterson making that 57-yard field goal attempt in crunch time, and and Jim Schwartz not putting Nate Gary over Chase Claypool, a guy that broke Steelers franchise records and had probably 200 yards plus receiving on the Philadelphia Eagles defense. And you just had a complete meltdown on that one play that completely sealed the game for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I just hope Jim Schwartz is being held accountable for that, because any novice football fan knows if you're having a hot receiver, you have to double him. You can't put a linebacker over him. If you're going to put a linebacker on a speed receiver, at least you're going to play him under and have a safety over the top. But you never want to have a linebacker, especially like the worst linebacker in the league, which Nate Gary has been proven statistically. You just don't want to put him in that situation. But I really can't blame Nate Gary just because Jim Schwartz is the one who calls for that scheme, and he's the one that didn't call that timeout when he's seen that Ben Roethlisberger made that new play at the line. And I just hope we can bounce back against Baltimore, because Baltimore, to me, is going to be even more of a bigger challenge than we had in Pittsburgh, just because you have Lamar Jackson and the weapons that they have. Mark Andrews at tight end, Marquise Brown at the wide receiver, man, Ingram, and those guys on defense who can really get after the quarterback, and then that amazing secondary. So we're definitely going to have a task on our hands next week. But just focusing on this week, man, I'm really proud of the offense, man. Carson Wentz is showing that he's slowly but surely getting back to what he was in previous years. And he still threw the interceptions this game, but I really don't blame that on him. And that brings me to the next point, man. I think that this is about time that we start calling out Zach Ertz to be either moved or reprimanded for his poor play in these past couple games. Even on that Carson Wentz interception, like, you see that Zach Ertz was softly running his route, trying to draw the illegal contact, which should have been called, but you're still supposed to run that route, because now that you threw that interception, you gave the Steelers another chance to score. And Zach Ertz has just been like that all game. When Carson Wentz underthrew him, he showed a whole lack of effort. And this may be the time to call for a trade, like we were trying to do the first of the year. Because I think the contract is still fresh on Zach Ertz's mind. I think he still feels like disrespected, even though he already has a contract. And it may be time to part ways real soon. Just because you don't want that negative energy to fall down on these young players who are stepping up more and more every week for Carson Wentz. Who's just showing leadership that's really inspiring these young guys to come out and play. Y'all seen Greg Ward, y'all seen John Hightower, who, if he can just have better ball placement, like recognizing where the ball is, he'd be a great receiver on this team. Travis Fulgham, who's doing better and better, like these last couple weeks. And it's just something that, like, amazing that you're used to see, and you don't want that spoiled just even a little bit by even like the most negative of attitudes, especially by your veteran tight end. So I mean, yeah, and if we can somehow like tie these things up and tighten up on these mistakes, I think that we still have a run in this division, just because you have Andy Dalton, who a lot of people really don't believe in, but I'm not sleeping on just because he has the weapon still, and Michael Gallup, who's coming up to be one of the best receivers in this division, if not already the best receiver in this division. Mari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb, who's shown to be really good, and Zeke Elliott, who's been a terror for us these past few years. And then the Giants, I mean, they're just the Giants, who probably blew it, because they should have won that game, but they couldn't score on a defense that allows scores on like 85% of their drives or something like that. It's some kind of big number, over 80%, where a team score on the Dallas defense. And then the Washington football team, who doesn't have a bona fide starter yet. I mean, they put in Alex Smith, but how much of Alex Smith can you get after 2 years gone from a horrific leg injury? I guess that's something that we'll have to see, and we'll discuss in another video another time, man. But other than that, man, tell me what you guys think, man. Does Jim Schwartz need to be held more accountable in this game, or do you put more blame on Doug Peterson? And do you think it's about time to trade Zach Ertz? And who's your favorite rookie going into this week and for the past couple weeks? Let me know.